Hello everyone and welcome back to mountmoontcg. Well, a brand new expansion is making its way to the Pokemon trading card game called Paldea Evolved. So it's time to talk about what I think are the top 10 cards from that set. Now, Paldea Evolved will be released on June 9th and will be legal for competitive play 2 weeks after that. So I just want to say that this set will bring one new archetype, but brings a lot of cards that will help other archetypes in the current standard format. So yeah, there's a lot of cards I had to go through. Now, some of your favorite cards might not be on this list, so if your favorite card did not wind up on this list, please put it down in the comments section below and give me your list. I would love to see what you guys have for your top 10 favorite cards. So what are my top 10 favorite cards? You'll have to wait and see. And what's my number one card? I don't know, but here's the list. Without further ado, here's my top 10 cards from Paldea Evolved. At number 10, I debated a little bit on this one. Like I said, there's a whole lot of great and neat cards in this set, but for number 10, I went with Luminous Energy. Now, Luminous Energy is a special energy card where it's similar to Rainbow Energy, where if you attach to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but you don't put any damage counters on it or anything. The drawback with Luminous Energy is, if you attach it to a Pokemon that has another special energy card attached to it, Luminous Energy is a colorless energy. It is no longer that Rainbow Energy. So that's kind of a drawback with that. But I put it here at number 10 because this might help get Regigigas back into the format. Regigigas kind of went off the rails when Aurora Energy went away because of rotation. So I'm hoping that this card might bring back Regigigas into our standard format again. In at number 9, we have Artisan. Now, Artisan is a stadium card that would be really great in these Stage 1 decks, or these, Stage 2 decks that might seem a little bit harder to get your basics. What Artisan does is, it's a stadium where you can search your deck for a basic Pokemon that's not Rule Box and put it onto your bench. It's very similar to Nest Ball, but Nest Ball can get any basic and put it onto the bench, where Artisan, it can't be a Rule Box Pokemon. So there's a little bit of a drawback there, but this can help with consistency for some of these decks that might seem to have a little bit of trouble getting their basics out. So that is why I put Artisan here at number 9. In at number 8, we have Squackability EX. Squackability EX has the ability where you can only use it on your first turn of the game. And it states that you discard your hand and draw 6 cards. So, could be pretty neat where you have an opening hand of just garbage and you just go, you know what? I'm going to Squackability EX, use its ability, discard it, draw 6 new cards. Hopefully I can get my cards like, Nest Ball, Battle VIP Pass, whatever I need to help set up my field of play. It's also got a pretty neat attack where you can, do a little bit of damage and accelerate some energy onto your Pokemon. And the great thing about Squackability EX's ability, even if you start it, you can use the ability. Not like Lumineon V or Crobat V, where if you start it, tough luck, you can't use your ability because the ability says when you play it from your hand onto your bench. So since Squackability is going to help set up some of these decks, I put Squackability here at number 8. At number 7, we have Spiritomb. Spiritomb is here for the ability, stating that basic Pokemon V, both yours and your opponent's, have no ability. So, if you needed another reason to not play Mew VMAX, well, here's your reason. Because Spiritomb shuts off Genesect V ability. as well as Luminous V's ability, and some other pretty decent Pokemon V abilities like Raikou and things like that. So yeah, if your opponent just plays one Spiritomb, they just put it on the bench, and if you're playing Mew VMAX, Genesect V's ability is pretty much gone. So this card would be really good for the format, right away. But after this, when Vs are slowly rotated out of the format, it might not be as good. But still a powerful card nonetheless. And that is why Spiritomb is here at number 7. At number 6, we have Luxray. Luxray is a stage 2, but you can get into play in a kind of unusual way. For it says, if you are behind on prizes and Luxray's in your hand, and you have the room on the field, you can put it straight onto the bench. So that's kind of one way to get this stage 2 out pretty quickly. This will be really good in some Lost Box decks, because it's a stage 2 Pokemon, that's one prize, and you can put it onto the bench relatively quickly. Because odds are your opponent's going to knock out a Comfey on their first turn. You have a Luxray in your hand, just put it on the bench, and there you go, you're ready to go. It's also got the attack that does 180 damage, so it can knock out your opponent's Pokemon Lugia V, Lugia V-Star, you got your Palkia V and V-Star. So any weak electric Pokemon will go down very easily with this Luxray. There's also a card that I'll talk about a little bit later that will help power up Luxray in one turn. But if you're playing a Lost Box deck, you'll use Mirage Gate, and there you go, your Luxray's all set up. But still, Luxray being able to go right onto the bench pretty darn quickly, being a one prizer, can do a decent amount of damage, and there's cool ways of powering it up. Luxray is here at number 6. At number 5, we have Chien-Pao EX. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Chien-Pao EX is a water type. It's got a cool ability where if it's in the active spot, you search your deck for 2 water energy cards, 2 basic water energy cards, put them into your hand. Also, its attack for 2 water energy does 60 times, and then for each amount of water energy that you discard, it does 60 more damage. So you discard 5 energy, you're doing, hold on, I gotta do quick math here, 60, 120, 300 damage, right? 60, 120, 180, 240, 300. Yeah, 5 energy, you're doing 300 damage, 60 times. Yeah, 60 times. I can do math, everybody. This would be one of the biggest archetypes coming from this set, Chien-Pao, and there will be one more card that we're discussing a little bit later that can help Chien-Pao power it up pretty darn quickly. Now, while making this list, I wanted to put this card and its partner that you will see later in the same spot, but I was told 1 spot per Pokemon. Even though this is my list, I was shot down by Chris and other authorities here at mountmoontcg that told me that I've been told I need to shut up about this. But anyhow, Chien-Pao is here at number 5 because it brings a whole new archetype back to the Pokemon trading card game, and it's got a neat ability, neat attack, and you'll see why at number 5, why this is here. In at number 4, we have Reversal Energy. Reversal Energy states that this can only be attached to an evolved Pokemon when you are behind on prizes, and that evolved Pokemon is not a rule box Pokemon. And essentially remember Luminous Energy we talked about earlier? It's basically 3 of those on 1 card. It's essentially 3 Rainbow Energies. Pretty darn good. And do you remember when we talked about the Luxray a couple of spots back? Yeah, this is how you power up a Luxray in 1 turn. So since you're behind on prizes, you bench the Luxray, and since you're already behind on prizes, you can play the Luminous Energy onto the Luxray because it's an evolution Pokemon, and there you are, you're good to go. Also, Luminous Energy can be really good with Gardevoir decks, because remember, you can only attach it to an evolved Pokemon, non-rule box. So a regular Shining Arcana Gardevoir will still work. there's a lot of potential for this card to be really, really good. And this might bring some Stage 1 and other Stage 2 Pokemon, might help bring them to the format and might make them legitimate contenders. That is why Reversal Energy is here at number 4. At number 3, we have the partner to the Chien-Pao EX I talked about earlier. We have Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur has an ability I think a lot of us that have been involved in the Pokemon trading card game might be very familiar with. Deluged Blastoise is back again, or for those older players, Rain Dance Blastoise. Because basically it's a Stage 2 Pokemon, and as many times as you like during your turn, you attach a water energy from your hand to your Pokemon. It's really, really good. So Blastoise Keldeo is back again, ladies and gentlemen. This was the partner I wanted to put with the Chien-Pao before somebody told me I couldn't, but that's okay. That's very okay, because I'm just happy to make this list for you all. Very happy. But yeah, Baxcalibur, Stage 2, can attach as many water energies as you like. Yeah, the possibilities are kind of endless for this Pokemon. So you would just attach 5 energy from your hand to the Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao does a lot of damage. Cool. And there's also cards like Superior Energy Retrieval that got reprinted in this set that helps get those energies from the discard pile, because remember, with Chien-Pao EX, you have to discard those water energies, put them back into your hand, reattach those energies. You're doing a whole lot of damage. So since I think that, Blastoise Keldeo was so good back in the day, I don't see any reason why Chien-Pao Baxcalibur is going to be any different. It has the capability of doing a lot of damage, and that's why Baxcalibur is here at number 3. And at number 2, we do have a reprint card. I know in my last top 10, cards from a set from Scarlet Violet, I got a little bit of flack from other people here at Mount Moon for putting Nest Ball at number 1. Well, that's okay, because I didn't put a reprint at number 1, I put a reprint at number 2. At number 2, we have Super Rod. Super Rod is back in the format, ladies and gentlemen, and Super Rod says that you can shuffle up to 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy from your discard pile into your deck. So you don't have to play cards like Miriam or Clara just to get Pokemon back, but those have some, pretty good neat sides to them. Like Miriam, you draw 3 when you shuffle Pokemon back into the deck, and Clara that gets you back into the hand, but that's your supporter for the turn. Super Rod, you shuffle them into the deck for an item card, and then you can search for them with Artisan or Nest Ball or Ultra Ball, so you can get those back. Not to mention, if you're running low on cards in your deck, add 3 more cards back into the deck so you don't deck out as fast. This is going to be played in every deck, at least just about every deck. Yeah, it's a really good card to bring back some basic energies and bring back some Pokemon that you really need for a battle. Yeah, Super Rod's here at number 2 for a very good reason. And at number 1, we have Iona. Iona is a supporter card that's going to see a whole lot of play. Iona states that both you and your opponent shuffle your hand, then put that hand on the bottom of your deck. Then you count your prize cards and draw a card for each of your prize cards remaining. So this sounds very similar to Marnie, where you had to shuffle your hand, put it on the bottom of the deck, and draw cards. And sounds very similar to N, because you draw cards for how many prize cards you have left. So Iona was essentially if Marnie and N had a baby. Probably the wrong way to phrase that, but essentially that's what it is. And no, don't make any fan art of that. You know who you are, don't do it. But yeah, essentially it's a comeback card. So if your opponent has taken 4 prize cards and they have 2 cards remaining or 1 card remaining, you play Iona and they get just one card or two cards, depending on how many prize cards are left. And if you have 6 prize cards left, yeah, that's kind of a pretty decent trade-off. And if those 2 cards for your opponent aren't very good, you can make a huge comeback. Just like how N was, 10 years ago. But yeah, this will most likely replace cards like Judge. This might replace cards like Roxanne. Because Judge, let's face it, at the beginning of the game, you don't really want to judge to, 4 cards that might be worthless. You can Iona for 6 cards instead. And also, if your opponent has like 1 card left, has 1 prize left, and you judge them, they get 4 cards. Iona, they get 1. So I think you can see why Iona is here at number 1, and essentially is the best card in the format. And there you go. There you have it. There is my top 10 list for the best cards from Paldea Evolved. And I'm very curious. What is your guys' top 10 cards? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please tell me why you think a certain card should be on this list. Is it cards like Meowscarada, EX Noivern, EX Jet Energy? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time here on mountmoontcg. Well, are you happy? I didn't put the Chien-Pao and Baxcalibur in the same spot. I gave them each their own separate spot. Now, are we good? Can I have them back? Thank you.